So in this lesson, we're going to cover the mindset that you need in order to succeed in your fitness journey. When the rubber meets the road and you hit potholes, which you will, you'll have this lesson and the things that you learn to fall back on to motivate you forward. In Hebrews 12, 1 through 2, Paul is encouraging Christians to continue their mission with endurance. So the first principle that we see is to remove barriers. Paul's encouraging Christians to lay aside every weight and sin that clings so closely that weighs them down in their mission, in their journey. We can use this in our fitness journey because there will be barriers. Again, there will be potholes, and we need to remove them so that we can continue on and accomplish your mission. So these are things like, maybe you were making good progress and now it's slowed, so you're starting to lose motivation. What will you do when you lose motivation? When there are donuts in the office, what are you gonna do? That's a pothole, that's a barrier. How are you gonna handle that? When the bed is much warmer and cozy in the morning, how are you gonna wake up? How are you gonna get your workout in? Or at the end of the day, when you're tired from work, how are you gonna stay motivated and overcome that barrier to accomplish your mission? And we'll cover how to overcome some of these barriers later on in other lessons. And actually, probably the best way we'll be covering in this lesson at the end. The second principle that we see in Hebrews 12, 1 through 2, Paul says to let us run with endurance. So we have to have that long-term outcome. In my time personal training, I would often tell people to look at fitness like the stock market. There are ups and downs. Those who play the short term often lose, but those who play the long game, they win, and they win big. There will be ups and downs. There will be downs when you aren't motivated to work out, when you do end up eating that donut at work. There will also be ups where you're making great progress and you feel like you're on top of the world. But again, like the stock market, like Paul says, run with endurance, play the long game so that you can win. So the third principle that we see in Hebrews 12, 1 through 2 about enduring our journey, we find when he's talking about Christ enduring the cross. It says, for the joy set before him endured the cross. One of the best ways that we can weather the ups and downs, push through barriers, and ultimately win and achieve our goal is to have a strong reason why, a why that makes you cry. When you're tempted by the donuts, what's going to motivate you through that? When your legs are burning, what's going to motivate you to get one more rep or 5 more pounds? So again, in order to weather those ups and downs and get through barriers, you need to have a strong reason why you're doing it. So 2 things to do. 1, think of some barriers that tend to trip you up and ways around them. Actually write it down so you can come back and reference that when those barriers come up. Number 2, start thinking of a why that makes you cry. Why are you doing this? What is being fit gonna help you do in life?